やるしかない。ヤオハ
そんな出来損ないのこの葉で倒っ。
What an absolutely incredible episode 1. Since like minute number 1 of the episode of Pokemon Horizons, I have been just like grinning, like cheek to cheek. Like I've just been grinning. Like we have had 25 years of Ash, and it's been an amazing run. Virtually my entire life since I can remember, Ash Ketchum has been there. And they finally put that to bed. He was finally the champion. He finally won. And basically his story was put to an end. And now we have the story of 𝐒𝐿𝐴 and Roy starting. Now, for me personally, the way I view this anime is I view 𝐒𝐿𝐴 as the protagonist. I really wish that they didn't focus on 2 specific characters and just had 𝐒𝐿𝐴 be our main protagonist. I think that she is cute, bubbly, socially awkward. I think she has all the different makings of somebody that can not be the expected winner or the expected potential champion or potential really good Pokemon trainer and end up being that. Like all those things that I mentioned, awkward, charming, definitely has something inside of her, like wanting to be more, right? Curiosity and a partner Pokemon that has a lot of attitude and a lot of sass. Like, those are all the makings of everything I wanted. Now, I have to admit to you up front, I was a little worried, going into this series, because it's either really gonna hit or it's really gonna miss, especially with that stray away from Ash Ketchum, which a lot of people might think like, oh, the standard anime community might think like, oh, that's not too big a deal, but it's a huge transition considering that we had, 20 plus seasons of this anime that's been around for 25 years. This is probably the biggest moment for Pokemon, and this is probably the biggest moment for the Pokemon company for this needing to hit, and it absolutely hit. So from the moment that this episode started, which was 𝐒𝐿𝐴 and Roy set off on their adventure, which I think is what the episode was called, it really starts off with amazing visuals. It showed us the whole entire region and a ton of different Pokemon, from your Onyxes going across the rocks, from the Pidgeots in the sky. Like, it showed us all the different scenery and like beautiful art and beautiful region and tons of different Pokemon. Then we get to go on our adventure with 𝐒𝐿𝐴, and we see her in her school uniform. And I just want to take a moment to recognize that I love the fact that 𝐒𝐿𝐴 is going to school. Not only is she from Paldea, which is the region that the 2 new games, which is Violet and Scarlet, are based off of. Not only does she originate from that specific region, but she traveled to our original region in Kanto. And the reason that she did that was because her parents originally went to this school, and when she talked about wanting to go to school and wanting to, start her own, Pokemon adventure, they wanted to send her here where they were graduates from. Her school is called the Sakai School. So immediately, like, I love that whole entire premise, because we've never really been to school before with our Pokemon, with our Pokemon protagonists. When we think about Ash Ketchum, the closest that we have is when he adventured in Alola. Although he was in like a class kind of setting, it wasn't a traditional school setting. And I actually think that narrative and that setting really fits Pokemon really, really well. Also, her school uniform was so freaking cute as well too. We then see her kind of like being very socially awkward, not very, wanting to talk to other kids, but not really being able to. And her finally making her first friend at school via her roommate, because she kind of had to, but her roommate's really outgoing and really spunky. And immediately she was able to kind of like opposites attract kind of thing. She was able to really like instantly bond with her as well too. So I really love that. I thought that was a really cute thing for her first friend to actually end up being her roommate. Then the episode transitions to the entrance ceremony. She's really nervous. It's really cool to watch. We find out that after the entrance ceremony, she's going to get to pick her first partner Pokemon. And I was like, obviously we it was kind of spoiled already from the Pokemon trailers and stuff like that, but regardless, she got to pick her first partner Pokemon. Her roommate, her friend, was her first partner Pokemon ended up being Oshawott. She picked hers, which looked like, based on how the kids were picking their partner Pokemon, it looks like it was just random. It looks like it's just like they went in order. They couldn't actually like choose between Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur. They couldn't really choose. It's just kind of like this is what's assigned to them. Thankfully she got assigned neon whatever, which is Sprigatito. So she got assigned Sprigatito, which I thought was perfect because especially because she's from Paldea. Not only is it perfect for us because it's a Paldean Pokemon that we get to see as her first partner Pokemon, but it's perfect for her because she has familiarity with it and the region. But of course, Sprigatito off the cuff scratches her and just dips. And she spends a good amount of time kind of like running after Sprigatito and stuff like that too. Then we get to kind of see a whole montage of her trying to get closer to Sprigatito, which is really cute. Her chasing after her logging her habits, her finding her sweet scent. Basically, we spend time with our character liko, just trying to figure herself out, trying to figure how am I going to be a trainer to this Pokemon? This Pokemon doesn't seem to really initially like me. And then she has a realization of I don't understand you, and she has a realization that I think me and Sprigatito are like two peas in a pod. We're one and the same. I was like, that's so cute. You're both like all a little awkward, a little not being able to communicate well. I was like, that's so cute. Then obviously the episode transitions to the last part of the episode, which is it's break time. All the kids, they go back to their families for a little bit. She ends up staying there because she's like, oh, my parents are busy. And some weird people come and look for her. As earlier in the episode, we find out that her grandmother left her a pendant. The pendant seems to be a correlation to the DLC that's going to be dropping for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet very soon. Looks like there's like a turtle Pokemon that is going to be like the pseudo or the legendary later on that us as the players in Scarlet and Violet are going to be able to meet. It looks like that's a part of this core story, and it looks like that pendant has something to do with it. And I think that's a really cool thing to kind of initiate the DLC that's going to be on the horizon for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And her grandmother left her really like a pendant and stuff, and suddenly these weird people started showing up saying that her grandmother sent them to retrieve this pendant. And she's like, that's sus, that's suspect, that's suspicious. Even Sprigatito's like, nah, these people are suspicious. So she books it, she runs away. And we end up meeting another person who on a flying Charizard that seems here to be like the good guy, seems here to protect her. Actually might be here from her grandmother to protect her, not to trick her. And the episode ends with her kind of trying to run away and almost getting hit by a Pokemon flame, and the amulet ends up protecting her, and that's where the episode ended. So so far the episode gave us a really awesome main character who is, cute and charming and awkward and has a lot of motivation. So I think that's cute. Gave us a really cool partner Pokemon in Sprigatito with a lot of attitude, really sassy. Doesn't want to listen initially, but is warming up to liko as their trainer. I think that's so cute. We got a really cool setting in the school and kind of like what the school plays a part of that. And then we get a tonality change with a shift into what the plot will be, which is, based on this break from school, she's going to be running away and going on a little adventure and finding out what this pendant is, what this pendant means, what her grandmother gave to her and stuff like that. We're going to be meeting a lot of other people along the way with these good and bad guys. So it's going to be like a little adventure away from school. So I think that's kind of like the next transition as the season begins to start unfolding. And obviously the other big part of it is her growing with Sprigatito and probably catching more Pokemon, her first catch Pokemon, stuff like that. So I'm just so excited for this. This was such a good episode. It was so cute. I loved every moment of it. Honestly, I found no faults in it whatsoever. I'm not going to say 10 out of 10, but I'll say 9 out of 10 initial episode. I think this was a perfect episode 1. But let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. If you guys are wondering, I'm probably not going to be covering Pokemon all season long, all spring season. I'll probably cover the first couple of episodes, and then I'll probably drop off, unless, you know what I mean, I'm a man of the people. So I mean, if y'all come out with thousands and thousands of views, you know, your boy will be like, yo, I guess we'll cover Pokemon, you know. But if that doesn't happen, then I won't be covering more than probably the first couple of episodes. But I just appreciate it, and I want to share my love for Pokemon with you guys. So hit me up in the comments of what you guys thought of episode number 1. You know, let me know your favorite let me know your favorite Pokemon in the comments below. Maybe let me know your favorite Paldean Pokemon, 𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻𝐿, like right here, 𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻𝐿. And of course, I'll see you guys on episode 2. All right, peace.